It's easy to write new code. How do you know the code which you have written is following your standards and you're not violating some security norms and principles? In the last few videos on the open source toolings and how to integrate open source tools into your open source projects, we saw open source scanning, which helped us in identifying the different vulnerabilities with respect to getting open source artifacts. In this video, we will look at how can we improve our code by leveraging tools for analyzing your code, which are otherwise called as static scans and analysis. Let's look at Codacy and see what are the features which it provides and how we can leverage that for an open source project. Let's get started.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss any update from Tech Primers.
Codacy is a tool for automating your code quality and getting instant feedbacks and analyzing your issues over a period of time. So Codacy can give you historical reports and we can see how the trend has progressed with respect to issues in your project. If you look at the pricing model for Codacy, it's completely free for open source projects and startups which has teams up to 4 users. In short, Codacy can give you instant feedbacks the moment you commit something onto your repo, and automatically Codacy will analyze if there are any issues in your repo, or if, let's say, your code coverage has gone down. Codacy can send that information back to you into your workflow systems like Slack or Jira or HipChat. Let's look at the different features which are provided by Codacy. Of course, the first most important thing is static scan analysis. We can get instant feedbacks about the security vulnerabilities which we are introducing in the code which we write. Also, if let's say you want to standardize things while writing your code, you can enable these standardizations by providing custom rules which you can apply for any repo. Codacy also provides integrations with Stack and GitHub, so it can even automatically comment on your pull request if there are any issues based on the scan results which it identifies. Most of the enterprise use these kind of tools in their continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines so that the code which goes into production is vulnerability free. And enterprises use a lot of proprietary products which you cannot try it at home. However, if you have an open source project, there are tons of tools which are free for open source projects and you can leverage those, and Codacy is one among them. Now let's try leveraging Codacy for the Tech Primers Git repository and then see how Codacy can give us instant feedbacks on what issues are present. So let's click on the Get Started for Free option. Now it prompts me to do a sign up with GitHub or sign up with Bitbucket option. I have the GitHub project ready, so I'm going to click on the sign up with GitHub option. So this took me to the dashboard. This is the dashboard which I had already logged in, so it's able to show me the projects which I have onboarded into Codacy. Let's try onboarding a new project so that you can see how the workflow looks like. So the moment I click on add project, it just goes and identifies what are the different projects which are present inside my account. So there is a project which is specific to my personal account and there are projects in my Tech Primers account as well. So what I will do is I will add these two. I think JX docs is a Jenkins X documentation which I tried forking into my repo, and then there is a Jenkins example. The moment I clicked on it, it automatically started reviewing these codes. I'll also add a Spring Cloud function project so that it can identify what's happening in that project as well. So the review is happening. Let's move on to the next step. So what Codacy does in the background is it clones our repo and then it runs these code analysis on our repo, and it can give you the dashboard view. So let's click on the go to the projects list and see that the refresh option is happening here, so which basically means the review is happening. Once this is done, we should be able to see what is the stats for this particular project. Meanwhile, let's go to an existing project. For example, this project is called contribution. It does not have any Java code or any language specific code. It just has the markdown files. So I'm pretty sure there is nothing here. So see that the issue says, I think these are some issues with respect to writing the markdown files. Let this particular dashboard load and then I should be able to show you. So there are 41 issues in total. Basically all these are related to code style. I can change the code style to fix all these issues, but right now it just shows that okay, I have a specific way of writing code and it is not right. So let me go back to the dashboard. I can see that my Jenkins example and the Spring Cloud Function AWS example are done. Let me go to the Spring Cloud Function AWS example. This was a Spring Boot project. Notice that there were some issues sometime back and then the line of code got reduced. So this is because I had modified something few days ago and then I reduced it after a while. So it can show even the history of your code commits. Based on your code commits, Codacy identifies when an issue was introduced. See that there are total of 16 issues, 2 are error prone, 10 are related to code style, and like 4 are related to unused code. The moment I click on unused code, let's see what are the different unused code. So see that there are import statements inside our beans. For example, the Spring Cloud function example.java has a lot of import statements which are not used at all. Now the moment I click on view file, this will take me to the complete file. And if let's say I want to ignore this particular file, I can click on the ignore file option. So this will make sure the next scan doesn't include this particular file. For now, I'm not going to do it. Let's go to the GitHub repo and let's try fixing it. Right now it says 4 unused lines are present. I'm going to change that to 0. So I'm going to fix all the unused imports in this particular class and let's see what happens. So I'll click on the edit option and I'll remove the bean. I'll remove the function, consumer and supplier because I don't need them. That's it, right? So we had 3 plus 1, 4. Yeah, we removed 4 imports and let me commit this back. Fix unused code vulnerabilities and let me commit this back. So I have committed my code changes back. Let's go to the dashboard. So the dashboard is still not updated. Let me go back to the account and then see if the Spring Cloud function project is built. So see that it says less than a minute ago there is a code change. Let's go back to this particular project. I can now notice a new reduction in the number of issues. See that the issues have reduced by 14%. Previously we had like 16 issues, I guess. Now we have only 8. Error prone is 2 and then code style is 6. So looks like our code got scanned immediately and the vulnerabilities got updated. Right now we don't have any code coverage enabled for this particular project. That's why the code coverage is showing nothing. But if let's say I have the Maven Jacoco plugin or any code coverage plugin, then we should be able to get the code coverage stats for this particular project. Codacy covers 2 different things. Whatever our Sonar used to do. So Sonar used to give us the file complexity, coding styles, duplication of code, and also the code coverage, which we already have here. Additionally, Codacy can give you the static code analysis, which Sonar did not give. So if you're using an open source project and if you want to scan your code to see if you're introducing any vulnerabilities or if your code style is good, and if you want your team members to follow a specific pattern, then definitely use Codacy to do static scanning and also analyzing your code for fixing coding styles and standards along with the code coverage. I'm going to use Codacy in all my open source projects and I'm going to integrate this into the Spend project which I had created as well. You can also try Codacy and let me know what is your take on Codacy. I hope you found this particular video useful. As always, if you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to it. Meet you again in the next video. Thank you very much.